Welcome to What is Truth, brought to you by the Southern New Mexico Church of God in Las Cruces, New Mexico. What is Truth is a weekly program which seeks to focus our attention on the truth of God's Word. Now, with this week's lesson, here's Pastor Meyer Stahl.
Welcome to the program. Today we have a serious question that we're asking today. Is God removing His blessings from our country? Are we going down the same way that Rome went, the same way Greece went? They were great kingdoms. Kingdom of Babylon was the greatest kingdom, and followed by the Medes and Persians, and finally followed by the Greeks and the Romans. Are we going the same way? It would seem like we are. And my purpose today is to show that we are heading in that direction. So let's look at what the Bible says. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. And while you're turning to 2 Timothy chapter 3, we have two important booklets that we're featuring this week. The first is, Just What Do You Mean Born Again? People use the word born again or I'm saved. And are you saved? Are you born again? And here it says at the bottom of the booklet, don't be too sure you know. Many religious people talk about being born again or saved, yet they don't really know what Christ meant by those words. The truth is surprising, startling. Here, made so plain, you will understand. The second booklet is a vital booklet that we have. It talks about God's holy days. Did you know that God has holy days that reveal His plan of salvation? God has 7 holy days, and God's holy days reveal a part of His salvation, His understanding, what He's going to do. And we can read that in this booklet, God's Holy Days. Why don't you send for these 2 booklets? They're free. You can have a DVD of this program if you like. You can share it with your friends and family. And we have a serious topic today. Is God removing His blessings from our great country, the United States of America? I sure hope not. But let's read what the Bible has to say. And here we are in 2 Timothy chapter 3, and we're looking at verse 1. This know also, that in the last days, those are the days that we're in now, we're in the last days, perilous times shall come. Well, we have to admit it. There are perilous times out there. Do you feel safe knowing that countries like China, North Korea, and pretty soon other countries are taking up weapons? Iran is going to have nuclear weapons. Do you feel safe? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers. There's plenty of blasphemers out there. Disobedient to parents. And you hear that all the time. Unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. Truce breakers. They make their promises and they don't keep them. False accusers. Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. So you're goody two-shoes, aren't you? Traitors. We have traitors that are giving away secrets that we have here in the United States and giving them away to enemies of the United States. Heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. They love to watch the football game, and they love to watch other games and movies and things like that, but they don't seem to have that kind of love toward God. Having a form of godliness. They'll carry their Bibles into church, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So the Bible tells us that this is what's going to happen in these latter days. And it's true. It's true. Right here in Las Cruces, just in the past couple months, we had an abortion clinic come here from El Paso. Now the reason they left El Paso was they didn't want to obey the regulations, the rules and regulations that doctors had to be associated with a hospital. Now we have doctors here, so-called doctors, they're really abortionists, that are not connected with any hospital. And they're killing babies, preborn babies. Well, what is a fetus? A fetus is a preborn baby. 1 minute before that baby is born, it can be aborted. 1 minute after the baby is born, that's murder. Murder one. Really. The baby's the same baby 1 minute before birth, 1 minute after birth. Why don't people understand that? And the Bible condemns homosexuality. And now we're having more than half of the states allowing the performing of homosexual marriages. And it's also going into the Army, Navy, Marines. Our military is faced with this. They have to make decisions. And God condemns it in the Old Testament, and he condemns it in the New. It's condemned in both. God says, one man, one woman. He said that from the very beginning, from Adam and Eve. It wasn't Adam and Steve. It was Adam and Eve. And it was always one man and one woman. And we are bringing it on ourselves. Let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the words of Jesus Christ himself. Let's go to Matthew chapter 4. Jesus had just fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. He was dying, almost at his deathbed, waiting to argue, waiting to be tempted by Satan. Satan was going to tempt him. So he prepared by fasting. He got real close to God. Now, Matthew chapter 4, let's start in verse 3. And here it says, "And when the tempter came to him and said, 'If you be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.' But Jesus answered and said, 'It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.'" Every word that proceeds out of God's mouth. Well, the New Testament wasn't written at that time. The only thing that was around at that time was the Old Testament and the prophets. And in chapter 5, Jesus makes a statement here in verse 17. We're going to turn there now. Matthew 5 in verse 17. Let's look at this. "Think not." That means don't think, right? Don't think, "I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Fulfill means fill it full. Now we'll go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. These are the blessings and the cursings on the nation Israel. Now Israel had sinned against God, and God caused punishment to come on Israel for their sins. And they were taken away into captivity by first the Assyrian nation came in and took what's called the 10 lost tribes, took them away up into Europe. And then the Babylonians came 100 years later in 605 BC to 585 BC and took the Jews to Babylon. Now let's look in the Jews had come out of Egypt, and now God is talking to them way back in the time of Moses. And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command you this day, that the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. Are we now high? We are the biggest debtor nation in the entire world. We owe more money to more people, and all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken, if you listen unto the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city. Are we blessed in the city? And blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body. He's talking about children, preborn children being destroyed in the body. That doesn't make sense, does it? He says, blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your cattle, the increase of your kind, that's cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. Blessed shall be your basket and your store. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. God promised a lot of blessings to the nation of Israel. Why didn't they listen? Why didn't they listen to God? Let's continue reading. And the Lord shall cause your enemies that rise up against you to be smitten before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Well, we haven't won a war since the Second World War. We didn't win the Korean War. We sure didn't win the Vietnam War. And what war did we actually win following the Second World War? The Lord shall command the blessings upon you in your storehouses and in all that you set your hands unto. He shall bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. The Lord shall establish you a holy people unto himself. Are we a holy people? As he has sworn unto you, if you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. People keep saying that the commandments were nailed to the cross. I find Jesus nailed to the cross. I don't find the commandments. And all the people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. Now let's look at some of the curses that we find if we don't keep God's laws. If we don't keep his commandments, let's see what happens to us then. And let's look in verse 15. Verse 15 of Deuteronomy chapter 28. And here it says, but it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Now we're going to go for a station break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
If you're living with diabetes and have Medicare or private insurance, here are some great news. Call United States Medical Supply today, and we'll send you the smallest glucose meter in the world, absolutely free.
It only takes a speck of blood, and it gives me my results in 5 seconds.
And there's no coding for easier, more accurate results.
Don't let diabetes get in the way of living. Give us a call today at United States Medical Supply and get the smallest meter in the world for free.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 1-800-908-0987.
Get ready, America! The Affordable Health Care Act is here, and it's got everyone asking, how do I find affordable health insurance that's right for me? The answer is simpler than you think. Pick up the phone and call I Can Benefit right now. Waiting for you is a team of licensed insurance agents who understand healthcare reform and can help you find the right plan to take care of you and your family's health. Don't wait. Call now and get the answers you deserve and a price you'll love.
Call toll-free 1-800-426-2163.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay are everywhere.
They're making another minimum payment. Great. Most of the money goes to us.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your neck.
They lower his rates and consolidate his bills into one low payment. Consolidated Credit drives us batty.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
'Cause debt sucks.
Call now.
Call Consolidated Credit at 1-800-530-4571. Call now.
Welcome back to the program. Let's look here in the Bible in Deuteronomy chapter 28 about the curses that will come on our nation if we disobey God. Let's read now in verse 15. And here it says, "But it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you." Do you think God would expect any less of us today than he expected of Israel way back then? Let's look in verse 16. "Cursed shall you be in the city." We're not safe in the city. You go out in the city at nighttime, you're really not safe. "And cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall be your basket and your store." We're starting to have problems with drought. We're starting to have problems. We know about the drought that's here in New Mexico, and other areas are experiencing drought too, and other problems. "Cursed shall be the fruit of your body." So we have more children with all kinds of physical defects. "And the fruit of your land, and the increase of your cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out." Wow, that's terrible. "The Lord shall set upon you cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that you set your hand unto for to do, until you be destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doings, whereby you have forsaken me." And God says we have forsaken him. "The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto you." Now we're having diseases come on us that there's no cure for. And this latest one kills 50% of the people it strikes. It started in Africa, and it has come here. So it has started here, and it may be a lot worse. We don't know. "Until he has consumed you from off the land where you go to possess it. The Lord shall smite you with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue you until you perish. Your heaven that is over your head shall be brass." That means no rain. "And the earth that is under you shall be iron. of course, no rain. The Lord shall make the rain of your land powder and dust from heaven. It shall come down upon you until you are destroyed. The Lord shall cause you to be smitten before your enemies, and you shall go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. I wonder why President Obama says no boots on the ground in Iraq. Doesn't he think that we could overcome this Muslim threat? And your carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away, chase them away. The Lord will smite you with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof you cannot be healed. There are so many things today that we cannot be healed over. So many of the diseases coming upon us today. And smallpox was a disease that seemed to have gone away, and now they're finding vials with the smallpox vaccine in it, and they were wondering why these weren't destroyed. So some countries that are our enemies could have these vials of smallpox vaccine. Okay, let's read on. The Lord shall smite you with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And you shall grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness. You shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. No man shall save you. You shall betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You shall build a house, and you shall not dwell therein. You shall plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Your ox shall be slain before your eyes, and you shall not eat thereof. Your ass shall be violently taken away from before your face, and shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given unto your enemies, and you shall have none to rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. The fruit of your hand and all your labors shall a nation which you know not eat up, and you shall only be oppressed and crushed always, so that you shall be mad for the sight of your eyes, which you shall see. The Lord shall smite you in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of your foot unto the top of your head. The Lord shall bring you and your king, well, we have a president that's over us now, which you shall set over you. We voted him in, unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there shall you serve other gods, wood and stone. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead you. Well, there's so many more. You can read them all for yourself. This nation was founded upon the Bible. This nation was founded upon Christianity. And now it has left its roots. It's no longer a Christian nation. You know, the president was correct in what he said about this nation not being a Christian nation. It certainly isn't. The Bible's not allowed in school. You can bring a Koran to school, you could read the Koran, but you dare not bring a Bible into school. You dare not tell anybody about Jesus in your school, because you'll have to stay home. You'll be sent home. Wow, this is the Ten Commandments are torn off from various public places. Are not allowed to have the Ten Commandments written on them. Statues that have the Ten Commandments are broken, taken away. And people no longer depend on God. If we don't believe in God, if we don't trust God, if we're not thankful to God, will God do anything for us? Will God bless us? When was the last time you heard God bless America? We're not being blessed today. We're the greatest debtor nation on the face of the earth. We owe so many peoples money that we can't possibly pay the interest on that money, let alone take away the principal. We're broke. We're bankrupt. And our money is being worth less and less each day. Prices are going up, up, and up. You go into the markets, you see the prices you have to pay. And we can have a revival. We can come back. We can accept God. We can bring the Bible back into the schoolrooms. When I was a child, the Bible was read every day. Psalms were read to us every single day. I didn't know what a Bible was until I went to school. We didn't have one at home. So, for the free booklets, we're sending you Just What Do You Mean Born Again? You really need to read this booklet, because a lot of people think that they're saved, they think they're born again, and if you're right, you have nothing to worry about. It would only take you 15, 20 minutes to read the booklet. And God has holy days that reveal his plan of salvation for all mankind, for you and me and everyone. Why don't you send away for these 2 booklets? They're free. You can have a DVD of this program. We have a Bible study, an interactive Bible study, every Saturday at 1 o'clock at the meeting room at 1701 East Missouri at 1 o'clock every Saturday. Bring your Bible, bring a notebook, bring your questions, and we'll discuss them. Well, until next time, this is Meyer Stahl of the Southern New Mexico Church of God saying goodbye, my friends.
You have been listening to What is Truth with Pastor Meyer Stahl of the Southern New Mexico Church of God, located in Las Cruces, New Mexico. For copies of today's lesson or for more information, call area code 575-650-7359. That's 575-650-7359. Join us next week at this same time for another edition of What is Truth? Until next week, we wish you God's richest blessings.